The truth about being poor, it's not a choice. The answer to this question depends on whom you ask and what your definition of poor is. For many, the word poor denotes those who live below the poverty line, as defined by the U.S. Census Bureau and other governing bodies around the world. However, some consider being poor to mean more than simply lacking resources. They define it as a state of being that is painful and limiting, even when one has access to food, shelter, clothing, and other basic necessities of life. Welcome to Growth Secrets TV. We give you our best. All we ask is subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like and comment. Thank you. Let's proceed. Stereotypes. There are all sorts of stereotypes about poor people. They're lazy. They're uneducated. They don't want to work. They're criminals. They're a drain on society. But the truth is, none of these things are true. Poverty is not a choice. Mental illness. No, being poor is not a choice. Mental illness can make it difficult to keep a job, pay bills, or even take care of basic needs. Poverty can lead to mental illness, and mental illness can lead to poverty. It's a vicious cycle that's hard to break out of. But it's important to remember that people with mental illness are not lazy or stupid. They're fighting an uphill battle every day, and they deserve our support, not our judgment. Physical disability. According to the National Poverty Center, physical disability is one of the strongest predictors of poverty. In other words, if you have a physical disability, you're more likely to be poor. This is especially true for people with severe disabilities, who are often unable to work and must rely on government assistance or charity. But even people with less severe disabilities are at a disadvantage when it comes to finding employment and earning a livable wage. So no, being poor is not a choice. Addiction. No, being poor is not a choice. Addiction is a disease that takes over your life and controls your every move. When you're in the throes of addiction, you're not thinking about the future or how your choices will affect you down the road. All you can think about is getting your next fix. That's why addiction is often referred to as a disease of choice. You don't choose to be addicted, but you do have to choose to get help. Other situations. In many cases, people are born into poverty and don't have the same opportunities as those who are born into wealthy families. Other times, people may become poor due to unforeseen circumstances, such as job loss or medical bills. No one chooses to be poor, and it's not something that anyone would want for themselves or their loved ones. Lack of money doesn't mean lack of opportunity. There's a common misconception that being poor is a choice. That people who are struggling financially must not be working hard enough, or else they would be successful. But the truth is, lack of money doesn't always mean lack of opportunity. Poverty is stressful. Is being poor a choice? That's a question that gets asked a lot, usually by people who have never been poor. And it's always asked with this underlying assumption, that if you're poor, it's because you're not working hard enough. But the truth is, being poor is incredibly stressful. You're constantly worried about money, whether you'll be able to pay your rent or buy food. You might not have health care, or if you do, you might not be able to afford the copays. Bad choices are made with good intentions. We all want to believe that we are in control of our lives, and that we can make choices that will lead to success. But the truth is, sometimes life doesn't work out that way. Sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we end up in a bad situation. And when that happens, it can be easy to blame ourselves and think that if only we had made different choices, things would have turned out differently. When you're poor, though, making those better choices isn't always possible because your situation forces you into decisions you wouldn't otherwise make. Is being poor a choice? If there were options available to people living in poverty, then it would be an easier question to answer. Being poor is not a choice. People are born into poverty and often lack the resources to escape it. Even if they do have the resources, systemic barriers can prevent them from moving up the economic ladder. So next time you ask yourself, is being poor a choice? Remember that the answer is no. Please make sure you subscribe to Growth Secrets TV and turn on the notification bell because we have thousands of exciting videos that can change your life for good. Let's grow together.